It's the same psychotropic. Psychoactive. Please look up psychotropic, please, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Look up for the word psychotropic. Psycho. Make sure this is a triangle.
Psychotropic.
It's a triangle. It's psychotropic. It's like psycho, and then you got the tropics. Psychotropic.
Psychotropic medication.
Gotta read louder than that. Louder than that. Come on. Come on, guys. Let's hear it. Psychotropic.
It is a chemical substance that changes the nervous system function and results in alteration in perception, mood, consciousness, cognitive, or behavior. This may be used medically, recreationally, whatever.
In the same sentence or in the same paragraph, is there anything about psychoactive?
Yes, a psychoactive or a psychopharmaceutical.
Okay, there you go. So when you see psychotropic medication, right, it means psychoactive. If you see psychoactive, it means
Psychotropic.
so don't get mixed up. Okay? And all of these psychotropics and psychoactive is where you're going to find your hypnotics, where you're going to find your anti-anxiety, where you're going to find your antidepressants, where you're going to find your antipsychotics. Okay? And remember, when we're looking at these drugs, we got to think about the problems that it can
Cause.
not only the problems it can, help the person to feel better, right?
Psychiatric is the same thing too.
These drugs, all of these drugs, be it the ones in list that I just give you, right? Which is a hypnotic, antidepressant. What else? Tell me as I go along.
Anti-obsessive.
No.
Anxiety.
Anxiety.
Mood stabilizers.
What else? Hypnotics, anti-anxiety. Come on, the most important one you've been talking about.
Depressants.
Psychotic.
Depressants is there.
Right, you have you have all these here.
Hypnotic,
And then we said that you got to look at the category called mood elevators, which are usually like the antidepressant. Because sometimes when people not eating, they give them these medications so that they will start to feel higher, to eat, improve appetite.
And then
not improve appetite that they're going to eat, but because they're not depressed. When you're depressed, you don't want to eat. So if you lift the mood up, now you're going to want to go and eat. Okay? So don't. And all of these we start talking about because we were talking about postpartum psychosis.
You want to type something new?
No.
You want to save? Go to file, go to save.
Okay? And postpartum psychosis, we said it only occur if the woman who just had the baby had a mental illness. It don't happen because the woman get a baby. Please understand this, guys. The person had to have mental issues before. It might not have been very forthcoming. It might be more down, right? That, some people have problems when you don't see it, right?
No,
And then something
a
happens,
new one, right?
and then they
So you can start here.
explode. So the explosion for them is when they get the baby.
I wanna look up stuff.
The baby blues is different.
You wanna look up
Everybody, they say most women will feel sometime along the way with their moods
can
that
go on, your
they're not
Safari.
getting the support.
And then go
Not
on
getting support
Google.
from not only their husbands or boyfriends or what have you, but even other family members, their mothers, their brothers, their sisters, friends, anybody that all can make them feel that. Okay? And we said when you use these here, you look for the TD, which was what?
Tardive
dyskinesia.
dyskinesia.
And we said that is when you look at the word dyskinesia, right? Remember, anything has this in front, tell you that something is wrong. DYS says something like, you have a family that is not working together well. He said his family is what? Dysfunctional, right? We have a person who have problems peeing and is not burning. We say they have what?
Dysuria.
Dysuria. When a person have problems breathing, we say they have dyspnea.
Dyspnea, of course.
Oh Lord.
Dyspnea.
But what I'm trying to get is all of these has what? D, Y.
S.
So this dyspnea, this DYS, anytime you see come up, you know it means that there's a problem, right?
Difficulty. Problem.
But this other word now, kinesia, because what you're doing here is some medical terminology.
Terminology.
Look up for the word kinetics.
Kinetics.
Kinetics. Kinetics. Kinetics.
The branch of chemistry concerned with measuring and studying rates of reaction.
Anybody find kinetics?
Yeah, the branch of chemistry or biochemistry concerned with measuring and studying the rates of reaction.
It says also movement or to move.
That's what we're looking at. That's all right. This is all right. Kinetics is to what?
Move.
Right? You know, they say when you're doing certain exercise, you do kinetics. Like I will come here and I will just
Kinesthetics.
kinetics, right? I stand and I tense kinetics. I'm working. All right? Now, you have a problem now. This kinesia, problems with
Kinetics.
movement. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
All right? What is tardive? Look up for the word tardive. Remember we talked about, oh, this person is retarded. Oh, we said we shouldn't use any retarded anymore, right? What's tardive?
Tardive. Repetitive movements.
Read retarded, guys. Tardive, T-A-R-D-I-V.
It's an involuntary neurological movement disorder caused by the use of.
That's a whole tardive dyskinesia. But what's tardive?
Tardive is
Not showing time by
It's showing tardive dyskinesia.
Tardive's in
it says
what? Just tardive.
Okay.
Just tardive.
Yeah.
I got it.
See one.
So go in here what you have, target.
Define tariff as an adjective noun having a symptom that develops slowly or appear long after inceptions.
That's what I got too.
Of a disease.
Development of a disease. Yeah, sorry. You're saying? Go ahead.
You're gonna send it to him,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're gonna send it to the group?
Which one? That? I didn't copy that.
Of a disease having
Appearing or intending to appear late as in human development or in the treatment of a disease.
It's just a development process,
Lateness.
right?
a
Over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
If you got the medication now, you're not gonna have a problem. Tardive dyskinesia happens with prolonged use of antipsychotics. What's the operative word? Prolonged. That's how you end up with the tardive. Over a period of time, you start having these muscular problems. That's how these words are breaking down. They look just big and fancy, but when you look at it, you break it down with your medical terminology, it gives you everything. All right? Because when you use the drugs, it's two effects you usually look for, right? Desired effect, which we spoke about the last time, or adverse effect,
Reactions.
or untoward effect. These are all terms you can write. Untoward. U-N-T-O-W-A-R-D. Look it up, please. Untoward effect.
Untoward effects. Unexpected and inappropriate or inconvenient. Any untoward effects appears first in. So basically, it says unexpected and inappropriate or inconvenient.
Right. Any untoward is something that is not desired. It's going against what you want.
Spell the word, U-N-T-O.
Untoward. UNTOWARD.
Oh, W-R.
Read loudly, please. Read loudly what's untoward.
It says,
No, read what you have. It's not yours, it's on the internet.
oh yeah, no, I got it.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Who want untoward?
If you say something untoward happened, you mean that something happened that is unexpected
Right, unexpected.
or caused.
When you give medications, you expect it to be what? Working certain way. So when you have an untoward effect, it's something you didn't want. Now you have desired effect, you have undesired. Right? You have expected outcomes, you have untoward effect. Both are opposite, right? And you could put one big word for take all them thing go in the wrong direction. Paradoxical. Because it now mean everything going in the wrong direction.
So
They expected the person to jump up, instead of jumping up, they stoop down.
But the same thing got
That's the
unexpected.
So Mr. West, undesired effect and untoward effect, isn't it the same thing?
It's practically the same thing.
Okay.
Same thing, undesired effect.
So what paradoxical effect like you said-
Paradoxical.
Yeah,
Untoward behavior.
so it's not almost the same thing with this one.
Paradoxicals are definitely untoward. When you say paradoxical, you know, look, I can have an effect, right? That is, I expect to have the swelling
Yeah.
go down.
Can you make it like
Turn the light on.
But the swelling didn't go down, it stayed the same way. So it means that the medication I use for the edema is not working because the swelling is still there, right? So I said it is not having the desired effect, right? But if now I use this medication to bring down the swelling, and instead of it go down,
It get worse.
now talk about paradoxical,
Paradoxical.
because it's going into the opposite of what we want. All right, so that's how you will use it when you're writing and documenting. You guys with me?
Yep.
So we put some things that are happening here, and now I'm going to throw in the diseases that we kind of talk about, right? We had one here, postpartum psychosis that started off, right? Then we can have what? When a person gets high, and then they go down low. What do you call it?
Medically induced depression.
When a person is bipolar,
Oh, bipolar.
bipolar, there's some people like who had bipolar? Famous people you only hear about. There was a famous person that was so bipolar.
All of them, really.
Mike Tyson. He said he's very bipolar.
And he's a manic
He's high.
depressant. Manic.
Like when you want by time the man ears, and that time he's low with when he was sitting with Robin, giving when she teeth now money, he's not saying nothing, he just sit down there. And she talking all kind of bad things, how he's beat you up and all kind of not doing this. Right. Alright. So bipolar. Look it up. I just want you just you listen to what I say. You must always confirm things. Don't take nothing that anybody say, even me. Always confirm and verify.
I'm in class.
I don't trust nobody. I like when you verify things. Okay? When you verify, I'm good. So somebody read bipolar.
Bipolar is a mental health condition defined by periods or episodes of extreme mood disturbances that affects mood, thoughts, and behavior. There are two main types of bipolar disorders. Bipolar 1 involves episodes of severe mania.
Severe
Mania.
Yeah.
And when we say mania, what do we mean?
Is it
Alright, let me give it to you guys. And I said guys, I said yours. Let me give it to you guys. WrestleMania.
Extreme extreme behavior.
WrestleMania means everything
Extreme
comes out.
behavior.
It's not like literally. Well, I know some of you women is look at wrestling too. But right, WrestleMania, right? Everything coming out, everybody coming out. WrestleMania.
Elevated
But this is
extreme
here we
behavior.
talking about persons who are high. Persons that all of a sudden they come in, they want party. You know, they're very high. And then the next is what?
And often depression.
No,
mental health
they
condition?
gone down low, like how we said with Mike. Mike one day want beat up and kill and do all kind. And next he's like, right. So people go through that. Sometimes you may go through things in your life, but those is mood situations, right? You may have moods that one day you high, and some other days you, but it is not end up into be a behavioral problem. Now when your highs and lows affect people, it now becomes a behavioral problem. If you got your high, you coping with it, you know, you're not really, or you get low and you coping with it, you're not really getting anybody's way. Nobody really know. Sometimes people just say, "Boy, today you're looking down, you know what, you alright?" You might just say, "What?
Or
I alright, I got about you," because you don't want to interact at that time. But a person who's having the bipolar, he's down. And he's behaving differently. Absolutely, there is a cause for everything. So look up cause, reason for bipolar, cause of bipolar.
They feeling sad, hopeless, or irritable.
No, cause.
Bipolar disorder is Wait.
The cause?
Possible causes includes genetics. That's number one. What else?
You know, people say
Symptom
sometimes,
and cause.
you behave like your father.
Yeah.
You ever heard that term?
Like father, like son.
There you go, like father, like son.
Right.
Genetics play a great part that people don't seem to understand. And sometimes you may see a child that's extremely calm, and his father is terrible, one beat up the whole neighborhood. You should check out the studio paternity test and see that. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. All right, but there's truth saying, like Mr. Beacon said, like father, like son.
Another
Yeah,
cause factor is your
often runs in families, and research suggests that they mostly explained by hereditary. People with certain genes are more likely to develop bipolar
Like Mike Tyson
disorder than
he
others.
has bipolar. But the thing about Mike Tyson, he was adopted.
And no one can.
He was adopted
cause
by a white
disorder.
man. Right? Isn't that how it goes? Who became his trainer too later on in life? He was adopted. You don't know what the family trees are like in that sense of what goes on. All right?
Kanye West is bipolar too.
So they say. You know what? We have a lot of people might be bipolar.
But then they say Mike Tyson has a manic depressant issue too.
Yeah. But the thing about it, when people have these problems and they act out at home, because a lot of people know what you're doing right now.
Don't sentence like
You
this.
don't really
Yeah, that's very.
take it as you might say, man, today you behaving stupid, man. Wherever you got put high, wherever got you put high, come down from it. Right? Just an hour conversation. Wherever got you so high, got you being acting stupid, you can come down from it. But they don't know that this person is going through some mental issue. But when it's the big people out there now, because they are in the public view, now anything that happened to them, everybody knows. Alright? Alright, so what else now?
Another factor is your brain. Your brain structure may affect your risk of developing bipolar disorders. Irregularities in brain chemistry or the structure or function of your brain may
When you
increase.
have problems with the brain, of course with the CNS system, but genetics is one of the main problems, right? Now look
That's
at
you.
the next one, you want to look at what? Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenic.
What's schizophrenia? Nice word, right? Schizophrenia. What's schizophrenia? Come on. Read it.
You want me to go to the next one or
No, this schizophrenia. What is schizophrenia?
schizophrenia?
It's a serious mental disorder in which people interpret reality abnormally.
Which people interpret reality abnormally. So that's why we say they're not in touch with
Reality.
Now, this is the persons you already call crazy. Because these persons see, hear, that you don't see here. And not only that they see here, but they interpret things differently. They may tell you, may say, boy, this is a nice dry erase. It's nice, right? You can use it on a dry erase board and what have you. A person might be schizophrenic, sir.
That's
Green?
not you. That's not you.
I will use this. And you'll be acting why? Use it to write. No, man. Green is about money. And this is all about money. Why would I want to write with something that's all about money? And you're like, what the hell is wrong with him? We're talking about a green dry erase marker to write on the board, and it's about green money. persons will take things that you know as realistic and put their own percentage. I work at a facility in the Bronx as an evening supervisor many years ago. And there was this young lady, and that's young lady, this woman, who was there, and this lady eat, what do we call them, meatballs? Meatball for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when this woman sit down to eat, like she had that thing, she had teeth. She had, like she was edentulous. And when you know when you're edentulous, your mouth is mashed up. You know, your mouth is up. And when she's like, you could see like this enthusiasm to start eating. It's like she just can't wait. And you'd be like, damn, she's eating this thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But she'd be like, something else. But what the facility has to do, because that's her preference. Can't do anything about that. All right. Now I wanted to go to the next one. Is going to be same schizo.
Effective.
Schizophrenic.
Schizophrenic.
Schizoaffective, sorry.
Schizoaffective disorder?
Schizoaffective disorder. Schizoaffective.
Schizoaffective disorder.
Is a mental health disorder
Talking
that
to
is
my
marked
telephone,
by
my
a
computer.
combination
I'll
of
show you.
schizophrenia symptoms such as hallucination or delusions, and mood disorder symptoms such as depression or mania.
Right. So you have now, apart from
Schizoaffective
just
disorder.
this, not in touch, not interpreting things the right way, they have these changes in moods. Manic, going down to depressive. All right? So don't mix up schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, and bipolar. Three different. A person with schizophrenia can have this bipolar thing, and when they have this bipolar type symptom, they go to schizoaffective.
Yeah, it says schizoaffective disorder, therefore which includes some symptoms of schizophrenia or bipolar type and depressive type.
Right, just what I'm just saying. I'm saying don't mix it up. All right, guys, don't mix it up. That's why I put it there. I put the bipolar first, then I put the schizophrenia, so you know the difference, and then I put the schizoaffective disorder, which is between both. Are you guys with me?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, don't shake. Y'all are shaking your head when I ask you later on. Y'all talking some other stuff. So please keep it in the sequence, all right? Keep it in the sequence. Now, something that has come up a lot, and I'm going to throw it in here, is Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
So let's hear what's Alzheimer's. If I ask you now before you look, what's Alzheimer's? What are you going to tell me?
No.
Dissociation from memory and
So what's the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia? Because you tell me the same thing. You tell me.
So dementia is the early stage, right?
So that was Alzheimer's dementia, Alzheimer type dementia.
Is a little stage.
All right, let's see what's Alzheimer's.
it is a neurodegenerative degenerative disease that usually starts slowly and progressively worsens.
The operative word is what?
It starts slowly. It progressively worsens.
Neuro.
Degenerative.
Degenerative
Disorder.
disease, right?
Disease, yes.
Right? So you have a neurodegenerative disease. Now, what are you going to be talking about? What is a neurodegenerative disease? Don't run into it. Just now, what is neurodegenerative? That's what I'm asking you to look. Come off of that and let's go to neurodegenerative.
Okay.
The disease is
Neurodegenerative.
over time.
Yes, it definitely is over time because it's degenerative.
What's up to do with
It's
nervous
caused.
system, right?
It deals with the nervous system. Good. Go to
It's
the
caused by
What is it?
progressive loss of structure or function of the neurons.
It is a type of disease in which cells
Damage
of the
made.
central nervous system start working.
Cell death.
It's a most common disease, or common in the neurodegenerative.
With brain atrophy.
There you go, brain atrophy.
Oh,
The cells, brain, the nervous cells are called neurons. So these
Neurodegenerative.
neurons are breaking down. Stay with me now. Stay with me. Are you guys with me? Don't look at me too much. But stay with me. When you have a neurodegenerative, it means that the cells of your nervous system is breaking down. It's breaking down. You have things like your brain. When you remember, you look at the word atrophy, it gets smaller. Right? They're like squid. Like you got a nice mango, you keep it too long, it starts to get dry and shrivel up. That's how the brain starts to become. Right? It's going to end up with situations like this. Many times, they cannot say this is Alzheimer's disease unless they have done tests. Now, if you look at another change that happens with the nervous system that don't cause, and I don't want to mix it up, that's why I'm going to tell you this now, that don't cause Alzheimer's. We're talking about demyelinization of those neurons. And that's what causes MS, multiple sclerosis. Just to make sure you don't mix it up, just look up MS right now. What's the cause of MS?
Multiple sclerosis.
What's MS? Come on, what's MS?
You say what's the cause or what it is?
It's unknown.
Right?
It's considered as an autoimmune disease in which the body immune system attacks the bones tissue. In the case of MS, this immune system malfunction destroys the fatty substance that coat and protect nerves fiber in the brain and the spinal cord, myelin.
The myelin. Remember I said demyelinization of those neurons? Now this can cause the person to have MS, which we just did the central nervous system, right? So we just mentioned that these people with MS will start to have problems with what? Movement, right? And it gets worse until they die, right? Don't mix it up with Alzheimer's. Same neurons, but these neurons are not having where the fatty covering that protects it is being loosed. This time, you have degeneration of the cells itself. Are you guys with me? All right.
It says the body on immune system mistakenly attack.
The body attacks itself with
That's for MS.
MS.
But this one,
The
it
mind.
just died.
The cells are atrophied, dying.
It says in MS, the body's own immune system mistakenly attack.
Right. Any autoimmune disease.
the fiber.
MS is an autoimmune. Rheumatoid is after autoimmune. It's when the body attacks itself. Anytime you see autoimmune, the body's attacking itself. Regardless of whatever condition the person is going through, it's the body attacking. All right? The body attacks itself. Now, this is going to cause a person to lose memory and all this sort of stuff, right? The Alzheimer's. So now this is going to bring us to, remember this is neurodegenerative. We're looking at cause because this is how we identify it. So the next one we're going to go to is dementia. What is dementia?
It's a loss of the mental ability. It's a loss of mental ability severe enough to interfere with normal activities of daily living, lasting more than 6 months. It is not present since it lasts more than 6 months. It's not present since birth, and there's no and it's not associated with a loss of alteration of consciousness.
All right. Cause of dementia.
Cause. Let me see here. Caused by gradual death of brain cells? No. Yes. Alzheimer's disease is the main cause of the majority cases of dementia.
One. Go, Rose.
This is dementia is caused by damage to or change in the brain. Common cause of dementia or Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's disease, common cause of dementia.
Most common.
What?
Parkinson's disease.
By what?
What?
Parkinson's disease.
Parkinson's disease.
Dementia is caused by damage
The most common cause of dementia
to or change in the brain.
generally neurological disease. These include Alzheimer's, Parkinson's,
Right.
Huntington's.
Parkinson's disease. Okay.
Common cause of dementia are
What else?
Alzheimer's.
Go to
What else? We have Alzheimer's anything else?
Alzheimer's
Oh my
disease.
God.
Vascular dementia.
Right. Remember we did high blood pressure? That's
Pressure.
unfortunate how you guys would have said.
Right.
Vascular dementia. Due to the high blood pressure
Pressure.
that damages the blood vessels
The high blood
and in the
pressure.
brain.
What is dementia with Lewy bodies?
Lewy bodies.
Yeah.
Those L-O,
L-E-W-Y.
Lewy bodies. I know Lewy bodies. See, before I tell you something wrong. What? See Lewy, L-E-W-Y.
Why?
See L-E-W-Y.
Yeah.
Lewy bodies.
L-E-W-Y.
I tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you wrong.
Right, yes. And then you have
Lewy body dementia is a disease. Continue.
Yes, please.
Lewy body dementia is a disease associated with abnormal deposits of a protein called alpha-synuclein in the brain. These deposits, called Lewy bodies, affect chemicals in the brain.
All right. Don't worry there. Don't go there. Lewy bodies deposits of those chemicals, especially protein. Yes, don't go there.
Then you have Parkinson's
You're not gonna go
disease.
into
Dementia is common in people with
All right.
this condition.
Stay with me. Just focus on, because it's more likely you're just gonna know what is dementia, what's Alzheimer's. The Lewy bodies are coming with the deposition of these proteins and have you, don't get tied with that. All right? Think more along the vascular dementias, the Alzheimer's type dementias.
TBI.
Head injury can also cause it, brain
Think
tumor.
along the dementias that, as I said,
Infections.
can be due to the Alzheimer's. So there's always, stay with me guys, the next type of dementia that you're going to look at first is the Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's type, right? Alzheimer's type dementia. There you have. Now look up that in the meantime, then you go to vascular dementia.
You have Parkinson's disease, dementia.
Those, they're gonna cause that, but what I'm giving you here is a little different.
Okay.
Alzheimer's type vascular dementia, because this is because of the damage, and this can also include in it things such as your TBI and what have you, okay? Vascular means a breakdown, you could have a stroke, right? The degenerative is gonna give you the thing like the Alzheimer's type and the Parkinson's, because all those are what? Degenerative diseases. Are you guys understanding? Remember when we did central nervous system, and we did disease of the central nervous system, and we think there's the things like ALS, Parkinson's, MS, and what have you, and we said they were all what? Degenerative diseases, and they're progressive. And the progressive and degenerative are the two words that work together. Come on, guys, you gotta remember this.
Thank you.
All right, remember that. Degenerative. Look, this is the last week. Yeah, guys, could be. It don't make no difference. I mean, for the last month, last couple of weeks.
You said Alzheimer dementia, right? Want me to define it?
Alzheimer type dementia.
Yeah.
Usually say Alzheimer's dementia.
Alzheimer's type dementia.
Alzheimer's type dementias.
Okay. Is a term applied to a group of symptoms that negatively impact memory. But Alzheimer type dementia is a progressive disease of the brain that slowly causes impairment in memory and cognitive function. The exact cause is unknown and no cure is available.
Let's go to the let's go up to the next one there. Because it's the same thing you tell you before when you did the degenerative diseases. Most of them they don't know why it's idiopathic. All right. So now we go to
What's the next one?
the vascular and the TBI, which we talked about already. You don't have to look that up. Then you
Vascular.
can go to the senile dementia.
Senile.
Senile.
Dementia. Because a lot of times we say people when they get old, they start
Senile.
That's S-E.
SENILE.
Senile dementia. I can't find it. I don't see it. I spelled it wrong. Severe mental deterioration in old age, characterized by loss of memory and control of
Senility can
body
be old-fashioned
function.
form dementia.
Oh, I
But
see it.
using the two interchangeably implies that characteristics of dementia.
Come on, let me get some of
age.
Senile, also known as senile dementia, is the mental deterioration, open parenthesis, loss of intellectual ability, close parenthesis, that is associated with or the characteristics of old age. Two major types of senile dementias are identified. Those due to generalized atrophy, which is the Alzheimer type dementia, and those due to vascular problems, mainly strokes.
All right. So see what we were doing there? We said you go with what? The vascular dementia, right? You got degenerative. And these gonna lead to when you're getting older, senility gonna happen. But because of these things, and not just because you're old, just because a lot of people say, "Man, you're old and dotish, you're old and stupid." But it's not, because you have old people who's 100 years old and they're very clear in their thinking.
Yeah, very they could articulate
Right?
better than
So it is, and guys, please follow the system I'm giving you, please. So that when you go to, and you understand it this way, you can't get lost. You just can't get mixed up. Alright?
You just still use that word or
What?
it's already?
Forward.
So now it's dementia.
No, not that there is, but what they not that they don't use the word. what they try to tell you is that people do not get dementia because they have old age. That's what they try to get across. People don't just get dementia because they have old age.
Okay.
Dementia is either caused by these two things here. I mean, these two things here, this one here we know can be due to high blood pressure. What have the other one could be degenerative that you don't really know what the hell is going on. Why? Does it make sense, guys?
Kind
Those
of.
are little things, but follow the system, all right? Now, with dementia, the last day, I feel like I did this all over, I'm doing this all over again,
This is
guys.
Oh,
On the last day,
This is Bing,
the
right?
last time,
I don't
we
know.
said once a person have this dementia,
I use Bing, Bing.com. That's a good
Right?
search place.
Show me how to do it.
once person have
Go here.
dementia, you should not be using
Bing.
these drugs.
Search here is better.
Are you guys with me?
Mm-hmm.
So what to do?
Search on here. Don't search on Google.
The psychotropics should not be used with patients with dementia. The only time you're going to use psychotropics with patients with dementia, and you're going to put this down here now, 6, as dementia with behavioral agitation. Please look that up, please. Dementia with behavioral agitation.
Refers to a range of behaviors associated with dementia, including irritability, sleeplessness, and verbal or physical aggression. Often, these types of behavior problems progress with the stages of dementia from mild to more severe.
So when the patient have this here, when they have this now, we can say yes. But if they don't have this, we cannot say yes. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
Dementia, you can't just go and use it. Now, this now will bring us to we're talking about the use of medications or pharmaceuticals. This now going to bring us to two things we talked about. One was tardive dyskinesia, right? And the medications can also cause you to get something called Parkinson-like effect. Are you guys with me?
yes.
Parkinson-like effect. You're going to come across it said drugs cause a Parkinson-like effect. People on medications and they start having the effect as if they have Parkinson's. So because these medications and prolonged use can cause this, we kind of look for now that the doctors have to do something about it. And the state has put things in place through the feds, of course, that all doctors have to do something called GDR.
Okay.
To prevent that from happening.
Right. And what is GDR?
Gradual dose reduction.
Gradual
Dose reduction.
Not just to prevent it from happening,
Be careful. What's that?
but because
Huh?
Dementia behavioral. What's
because these
Agitation.
medications, these medications, right? These medications can cause
Dose reduction.
these medications are known as
Chemical restraints.
and chemical restraints are definitely abuse. If you abuse it, it's a problem, right? And we know once a person have a restraint, they're basically chemical restraints and physical restraints. Right, so let me just PHY,
Yes.
physical restraints, right? We talk about chemical restraints. And the same thing that you cannot just put physical restraints on people, same thing goes with chemical restraints. And the last time I said times nurses can
Abuse.
I tell you guys this is the last month. So I ain't got no problem with you drinking anything.
I'm about to order some Chinese food.
Got to. I have no problem with that now.
Pork fried rice.
Because you guys need to put it together and listen to me as I'm talking this time.
I'm joking.
The chemical restraints are for the GDR to ensure that patients not like that. And every month, because in long-term care, you have prolonged use. And whenever a person is put on restraints, you have to determine when to get them off
The restraints.
So every 30 days, they usually have
Evaluation.
to check to see the medications. And please do remember that, Enrica, it's only the psychiatrist as a person who evaluates persons for psychotropic medications, not the regular doctor. We gotta be the psychiatrist. Okay, only the psychiatrist. And when the patient have to have dosage reduction or having problems with the medication, he have to talk with the psychiatrist, not the primary care physicians. 2, do not mix up the psychologist with the psychiatrist. You guys with me? The psychologist, all he does is what? Talk with the patients, find what is a problem, make suggestions, behavioral changes and what have you. But the psychiatrist now will give medications to change the behaviors, not talk. Okay? And because these medications and the effect of degenerative diseases, you find that the physiatrist can come into play. And who's the physiatrist? The physiatrist is the person who works with the rehabilitation department.
Please spell that word, please.
Please. Physiatrist.
PHYSIATRIST. Physiatrist.
You must have won every spelling bee, sir. You must have won every spelling bee in school.
Me?
Yeah.
No, we not even close.
You're good with your spellings.
So the physiatrist
Physiatrist.
is a person who works in the rehab department. And he not just work, he's a boss man. He's like the consultant for rehab. So when a patient is having problems with bodily movements and what have you, the physiatrist is the guy that the physical therapist or the occupational therapist will go to. And for consultation, because he's a big chief, he knows what's supposed to be done.
It says here that The physiatrist diagnoses the cause of pain and develops a comprehensive treatment plan.
And can prescribe medication.
Say again?
They can prescribe medication.
Physiatrist.
Yes.
That's, we don't mix up physiatrist with psychiatry.
Precisely, they said you can. Yes.
Because they're those consultants. I remember most times when in the facilities, they're gonna make the recommendations of these medications, and then the primary care doctors will order it. That's how it happens. The physiatrists or psychiatrists or any consultant, orthopedist, they will see the patient, make the consult recommendations, and then the consultant they're gonna put what medication the patient should be on, and then it goes back to the primary care physician, and he writes the
You
order.
gotta stay on that.
Very rare you're gonna find in the nursing homes, the physiatrists or the psychiatrists will go write orders. They don't write. They make the recommendations,
Yeah, once
and
you
goes to
get,
the
where you getting to,
primary
just
care
click on it.
physician,
Push
will
it
go
back
write the
there.
order.
Oh, I went back up top there.
You're going forward.
How good are we? Anything along there that got a little iffy? Remember, with psychiatry, I want you to look at those pharmaceuticals, okay? I want you to look at your psychotropics, psychoactive medications, the effect on the bodies as that they're being used on, both the desired effect for agitation behaviors, and most times, as you know, we get that for behaviors, okay? Now, words that you want to remember when you're doing psychiatry. Especially with the onto word, the words that I want you to remember is hallucination.
Hallucination.
Why you put me here?
Hmm?
Because I pressed this.
And
You don't have to click that. You can just work. You can just go from here only.
delusion.
But you put me into this.
You gotta scroll down.
Delusion.
So you see what you're looking for there.
And all of these,
Hallucination.
remember you have auditory and what? And the
Visual.
hallucination is what?
Auditory and visual. And visual.
So you have auditory and visual hallucinations, right?
Yep.
And then a person who is delusional.
It's thoughts.
Emotional.
This is persons who have beliefs,
Yeah.
fixed beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So when they have these fixed beliefs, it can be really messed up. They can have, and let's go to schizophrenia, paranoid. So look for paranoid schizophrenia.
Paranoid schizophrenia. Paranoid schizophrenia is a type of schizophrenia in which the patient experiences delusions that somebody may be plotting against them or their family or friends. This is the most common form of schizophrenia. These patients may also experience auditory hallucinations, meaning they hear things that are not real.
Are you guys with it? Paranoid schizophrenia is when the person, and most persons have paranoid schizophrenia. They're very suspicious and not trusting. They're not trusting anybody. They're very paranoid. And that's scary. Very scary. I remember many years ago, I was taking care of a patient in what we call the OBS. And I was sitting there and a patient was from Antigua. He was a principal that came to my country, so I'm working there. And he was a principal of school, he ran prison. And when he came in, he was talking nice, and many days I was sitting talking to him, but he also had these black glasses.
So
And then one day
just
the man
you want to
just
go
punched
to
me in
the
my
symptoms,
face.
diagnosis, the causes,
Say, "No,
anything-
Calvin,
anything you wanna look up."
One punch in my face.
Did
And
you
then
punch him, man?
thinking that, you know what, that man nearly break my jaw. Because I was talking to him as if he was, you know, not a patient, because he also had some nice time. He tell me about Antigua, he tell me all the different stuff, but he talked very nice. So when the punch came, it was unexpected. Because what he said after that really, rarely understood, because at that time I was just a student nurse. I didn't know diddly. In my country, psychiatry was not such a big thing, it's more like custodial nursing. You go in there, make sure the man don't jump through the window or something. Right? So I didn't know anything. So he punched the hand and he said, you, yeah? I know you green men is come down from the sky. I was like, what the hell? This man is thinking all the time I was some kind of a alien that come through with a spacecraft. I jump through you come from out there, I know, look it up there, you come. That's why he used to wear the eye thing and the shirts, and the man was just looking at me. And he was seeing an alien sitting there, and I coming out from a spacecraft. So, I don't know, I didn't know when I get now. I think I'm still being affected until now. Some head injury or something.
Really?
You're traumatized.
He boxed you good?
He punched me.
Oh Lord.
Punched me. What accent? So I should have picked up boxing. I think I got knocked out. I got choked up. Anyway, he had paranoid schizophrenia, and eventually sent him to the what's called a crazy house in another part.
It's back here.
So he was sent
Should
out
be
there.
good.
So you gotta watch out for these guys who are paranoid. Those are the ones who will do some stupid stuff. When they hear those voices and what have you. But the ones that you really want to be scared of is the ones who have the auditory hallucination that gives commands. A command is like in the military, move, you move, stop, you stop. So when they get a command, it says, push that person onto the train. Slap that person. Bye. Just do it. Just do it. And those are the ones you really got to be scared of. The ones who have these command hallucinations. And this now is going to bring us to something that we also talked about. That these persons may have this one here, the second one we're talking about here, which is what? Delusions. And persons who have delusions are scary people. Because some of them, maybe like Putin, might be one. So we're talking about delusions of grandeur. That please. Delusions of grandeur.
Delusions of grandeur.
Sometimes they also call
delusions of grandeur.
Illusions of grandeur. Sometimes they call it illusions, but you're going to find on delusions, and then you're going to say about sometimes it's also called illusion. Illusion.
One of the more common ones is when
You want to use Siri. You want to use Siri, right?
when it's red, then it's true.
Right there.
Right. Like They said King Henry VIII, he had delusions of grandeur. They say that,
Hitler, maybe Hitler too.
no, this guy from Africa, from
Idi
Uganda,
Idi
Idi Amin, they said he had delusions of grandeur. Right, those are the two they said possibly had delusions of grandeur. And delusions of grandeur is when people make themselves bigger or think they're bigger
Than what
than who they really are.
I don't think that's a good thing.
I think I give you situations whereby actually there's a joke was going around in my
If you want to
country
talk to your computer, you
about,
gotta hold this, hold this.
some guys are walking down on the sea and they're talking about
Do you say
the
something?
Heavenly Father.
Do you say something?
And while you were
Right,
passing
there's
this
no response.
mental institution,
Delusional
one of them
grandeur.
was saying something and then he said he forgot something in his car, but just
We have to
before
wait to see this first.
he expressed himself, right? He walking, talking, saying himself like, oh God,
See, no.
mean that he forgot something in his car, like he got turned back. When he said, oh God, one of the patients said, say, who calls me? So, that's the patient has delusion of grandeur, right? And those persons,
Grandeur.
stay with me, those persons who have these delusions of grandeur is related to, can be related to sexual disease. And the sexual disease it's related to is tertiary syphilis. And it is known as GPI. And what is GPI? GPI is general paralysis of the insane. Please look it up, please. General paralysis of the insane. General paralysis. Paralysis or psychosis?
General paralysis of the insane.
General paralysis of the insane.
General paralysis of
Go read fast.
General paralysis of the insane or paralytic dementia is a neuropsychiatric disorder affecting the brain and central nervous system caused by syphilis infection.
You heard it said it's a neuro what?
Psychiatric
So
disorder.
it means that the brain cells are being affected by microorganisms called Treponema pallidum that cause syphilis. And most people don't know they have syphilis. Because when you get syphilis, all you see is a little bump that is done painful and it disappears within 2 to 3 days on your vagina
Genital.
or on your penis. But you got it. And that's primary syphilis. You don't even know sometimes you got a little bump here.
I said, why do people get primary?
When you go to stage 2 or secondary stage, it's called
Secondary.
Herpes.
no.
Oh.
I did this with you guys here. When the person in the secondary stage is when it's called the great mimic. It mimics every other disease. It makes you lose your hair. It makes you have skin condition. It gives you heart attack. It gives you diarrhea. It gives you eye problems. It gives you everything you can't hear. Everything it affects is called the great mimic. And I had you guys look these things up before. And then when this now becomes localized, the microorganisms become localized in your central nervous system. That's when it now become a neuro disorder. It now affects those nerves we just talked about. Remember the degenerative diseases? Now it's affecting these nerves. And when it affects these nerves, general paralysis of the insane. That's when you start acting crazy. This is when you start doing some stupid stuff. Not because of genetics. You're like your father, but because you go and lie along with the wrong person, and the person give you syphilis. And unfortunately, syphilis is on the rise.
Do it with my phone too, right?
Again.
I think so.
You know, many years ago, before you could come to America,
You coming tomorrow?
you had to do
What?
a test, health. And the test they used to check for that time was syphilis. And if you had syphilis, you
You're
couldn't
not coming
come.
to this country.
Now with the AIDS, when AIDS coming, they'll check in for
It's going to change
AIDS.
over the years.
What is the difference between the great mimic and the great imitator? Because for the great mimic, it gives me something called psychosis. And for the great imitator, this is when we talk about syphilis. So syphilis is called the great imitator, as it can present very
What do you give it, great mimic?
Great mimic says psychosis is called the great imitator because it can.
It's the same thing, man.
The same word?
Yeah, the same thing. Same mimic and imitator. Mimic is something imitating somebody. Okay, so person who have this disease.
That was an English problem right there.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. The person who have the disease, and a lot of people don't know they have it. And I know many years ago, my mother's youngest brother, in fact, he's the last of the, he's the only boy in the family, and he's the youngest. And he used to go and pick up women all over the place. He was into, you name it, he was a village ram. All the women, you go to the stores, you have these women coming from the interiors, and he will have sex with all these different women. And years later, he got all kinds of problems, in which when I went back, I really tried to help him. I put him somewhere to live or what have you. He started living on the streets. And was living, when I went to see him, and this is a man who had his own boat and fishing stuff or what have you, reached a point where nobody, because of his behavior, wasn't want anything to do with him. And I go back, I said, we go look for him, because they say he's somewhere, and like family members didn't really care for him. So I went and I looked for him. They say he was in this village, and I went. This man was living, there's a house, and it's like this high off the ground. And he was staying under there. And it's muddy. And he couldn't move. He's pretty much, the lower body was gone. Right? Because remember now this thing is, but nobody knew what was going on with him. I went and I talked, and he remembered me somewhat, and he talking to me and thing. So I immediately got a car and I took him out of there, and I took him down to my home, and I set a place up for him, right? So he couldn't live out his years there. And he lived there and he died there. But the thing about it, he had syphilis. And the syphilis that caused him to be like that. But nobody could understand. They think that he was just being nasty and what have you. But it just messed up his head. Messed up his whole thing. Then when, when it said he's not walking anymore and everything, I realized that that was the problem. His history, which was going to all these women, and then he's having all these different things happening to him. And I said, okay, that was it. But to see the family members, because my mother's side is East Indian, my father's side is black. And the Indo-Guyanese, they were not very good with him. They just, he's been crazy.
Ostracize him.
So he was just pushed aside. And that was it. But I could share that experience with you guys to let you know that syphilis is something that can happen to people, and people behave in ways that they don't even know what's going on with them. There are a lot of things with psychiatry, especially. Now, in this day and age, when we talk about transcultural nursing, a lot of things we talk about here. Delusion, hallucination. Would you say that if you see a bush, somebody comes and says, I see a bush out there burning, and I just, when I go back that bush there, still the same way, nothing happened to it. What would you say?
Delusional.
You're seeing things, right?
Yeah.
Nothing was burning. But one of your, in the Bible, who spoke, who had a burning bush that talked to him?
Moses.
All right. Talk to him, right? Would you say that Moses was delusional?
Somebody would have said
Because
that
of
too.
your teachings, you're going to say he's not delusional.
I'm pretty sure a few persons said he was delusional.
If person said they heard God was talking to him, voices came down and told him, would you say that he was hallucinating?
No.
Your teachings will tell you it's not. When you hear about, you guys have ever heard of a woman called Joan of Arc?
Yes.
Joan of Arc was a French maiden. And England and France was in this 100 years war. They were fighting all the time. And the English was beaten up, going to beat them up in France. And she said she heard a voice tell her what to do. And the French people followed her. And guess what? She won the Bible. Joan of Arc, yeah, this is the thing. It's got all these nice pictures of her, Joan of Arc. Guess what they did to her? They burned her at the stake as a witch. Because they said people who could hear voices, it's a witch, it's a devil talking to them. So traditionally, whether it is religiously or to be of whatever, people believe things. Some, and where we talk about here, these people believe. Schizophrenic believe. They believe everything. So you now see a schizophrenic doing something or saying something like something that goes against your religious beliefs. You're going to tell the man what? Stop talking crazy. My art say that's not what it is. But remember, that's his what? Belief. And I give you a scenario now. The scenario is this. The patient said he is not going to bathe. And I've given you guys that scenario before. He says he's not going to bathe. Because he have what? Snakes coming out of there. The shower. What can you do? What should you do with this patient to get him to bathe? Oh no, we talked about this before. What should you do to get him to bathe?
You have to meet them where they're at. You tell them, oh yeah, there is snakes there. Oh my
Exactly.
God! But let's go to this other shower. There's no
Exactly.
snakes. Let's go
so
there.
what we should be doing is called what?
Living the reality
of your
patient.
Don't you come up and say, ain't got no snakes. Because he is seeing the snakes. And if I have seen a snake there, and you come and tell me there ain't no snake there, do you think I'm going to go there? I'm seeing a snake. If you see a snake down here right now, and you don't like snakes, and somebody said, put your chair, sit down right here for me. Would you sit down there? No, because you have belief. So when these patients believe something, you have to live in their world and make the changes. Because you know you're not in touch with reality. And when you think down now, but think of where you come. My country, you want beliefs? Let me give you something, belief that is nasty. Women sweating out over the rice because it's going to make the man what? Follow them. Why do you guys say like, oh my, isn't that the...
What's sweating over the rice? What does that mean?
Women go and put the rice pot and the steam that is coming up, they take off their underwear and they're going to stand over the rice pot and sweat out. Because they believe what? That the man who eats that food, that will run only after them.
Oh, that's true.
So, based on that, you will say that, will you say that's nasty? Will you say it's nasty?
It's not.
Why you say it's nasty?
It's not only that's nasty, it's evil.
Why would you say it's nasty, guys? Come on, let's talk. This is not about... Stop. I want you guys to look at this rationally now, please. What is it? Why you said it's nasty? Come on.
Me,
Tell me.
I don't think it's nasty. You know why? Because the heat of the food in there is gonna kill all the organisms that's coming from the woman.
There I go with it.
You understand? So I like the thought. I like the idea. The
What
idea
she's
behind
doing
it. It's fine.
It's her belief that if she stab off the pot, whatever drips down there, it's gonna be what? Killed by the heat. Right? But her belief is that whatever comes out of her is going to have control over the mind.
You'll be a part of it.
If the mind, so it means that the person eat the food and the food goes into the GI system, is now absorbed into the blood and goes to the brain. It sounds like a joke, but that's a belief.
You see that?
If I see somebody, if I go inside, I see somebody like that with a pot.
What about when you get cold?
I don't worry about to take them now. You know what? I'll be, if I'm in the Caribbean, right? Let's say I'm in Guyana or I'm in Haiti. Do you think I will be worried? I will not be worried. Because more than likely, they're going to put the pot down there under the fire, right? Which is a whole thing. But in America, for them to do that, they got kind on top of it.
That's right.
So, I know my legal Oh my God. But seriously.
Professor, she wants to ask you something. She wants to know if he's gonna, she says nasty and it's evil. So she's asking if the man will either feel hot or cold.
How are we going to know that?
That's what I tell her. You don't even know that. We don't know.
I don't know.
You know the reason why I asked you that question? Because, okay, so yes, the food is hot, so it kills the germs. Is the man going to eat the food hot or cold?
We don't know that.
The germs already killed. It's already killed. The food can be in the fridge.
I don't have to buy it, alright?
What's your rationale? I'm trying to answer your rationale. But the thing is, stay with me guys. What I'm trying to get across is beliefs. The woman who is doing it has a belief that if she does this, the man is going to stay with her and he's not going to go all over the place looking for the woman. That's her belief. Does it work? Maybe not. Look, if every day you go outside and before you go outside, you do a certain ritual and your day goes according to how this ritual you do, you will continue to do it. For instance, before the Jews go through a door, they got to up there,
They kiss it.
and they, no, I see the touch it.
Yeah, they touch it and put it in the
The dog
mouth.
touch it and they go through the doors.
No, they put it in
That's
the
their
mouth.
belief. Me and you, we walk through the door, right?
Man, that's
You got no problem. But in their buildings, they got these, along all the doors, they got these things, and they walk,
It's a ceremony.
and they touch, and they walk.
My neighbor
Not all of us do
Right?
that.
I don't know.
Well, continue.
See, not all of us, we gotta drop some water at the door before I go in.
The reason why I walk through all doors, I have, because I don't believe in their beliefs. Really what I'm trying to get across, guys, is beliefs. If you come from a culture, you have beliefs.
Yes.
Like for instance, I will talk to, like most of my students are from Haiti, right? I have known, in fact, my doctor's a patient doctor. And I will talk to, with my cultural thing, because I'm into culture a lot, different cultures. I will talk with my Haitian people, and they will tell me. And I look to talk with persons who are very scientific, persons who are nurses, persons who are doctors. And I will say, sir, like, so guys, do you really believe that a person can do something? And they know what they say? Yes.
Yes.
They will not go with scientific thing and say, science said no, that don't happen. They will say, yes, it can happen. And yes, if this person want to take your money, they can do something to make him all you lose all your money. Or they can do something to make you sick. And I was like, who's doctor? No, this has nothing to do with that. I'm serious. I'm serious. They believe this thing. Right? Really believe. And in my country, it's the same thing. In Haiti, they call it voodoo, right? In my country, they call it phobia. Phobia. And in the Caribbean too, I think they call it phobia. So they have this belief, and it all comes down from Africa. And they're twisted around to suit whatever.
In Nigeria, they call it juju. Juju.
In Cuba, it's Santeria.
Yeah, Cuba Santeria.
And they have in
But
China,
the thing about
China
it,
too.
I have no problem with these things. The only thing I have a problem with is when you talk about killing.
Chinese Buddha.
There was, some years ago, they had a serial killer. And how he used to kill them, he was Cuban. And what he do, he used to follow this Santeria. He would get these women and, bring them to say he's going to make love and do all kind of stuff and what have you. And during the act, he will now strangle them. And when they're taking their last breath, he tried to what? Be over them to get that last breath, last gasp. Because that's supposed to give him what? The power of that person and everything. And they believe in that coming out to the person to take it in. And he killed these women. He used to throw them on the Bronx River Parkway, the road you were driving on, when you going home at night. The Bronx River Parkway, in that bushy area going there, he used to just dump their bodies over there. That time I used to live in the Bronx. And they found out that, that was the guy. And they found him and he killed the women just to get their last breath. As their bow was heard the last breath before they died, he jumped over them to bring it in. This is beliefs. People believe in things. And if you believe in something, it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for you. So therefore, when you go to study for your exams, like right now, your belief should be well
Pass.
If you don't have that belief and you're just going out there and the maybe, it's not going to be good.
That's right.
There's a saying, belief kills, unbelief cures. A lot of people, like right now, we're having problems in this country with the abortion, right? But most of the people who are against abortion are from where? The people who are against abortion, what is their background? Most of them are Roman Catholics. And they're totally against abortion. That's why a lot of women have these placards when they read them. It is not religion, it is my body. You don't find the Muslim people in Islam, you don't find anybody of the Roman Catholics. And Roman Catholics are one of the largest Christian organizations. Unfortunately, politics are getting into our day-to-day lives. And politics are getting into beliefs, what people believe in. So right now, you have pro-choice versus pro-life. The people who are Catholics and persons who believe in the church will say abortion should be gotten rid of. They are pro-life. The people who are pro-choice will say, hey, it's my body, I should be able to do what I want with it. But we live in a modern technology. So if a person say, it's my body, I want to do what I to do with it, it's good because they're working with their doctors. Whereas the pro-life people will be saying they want it because it's based on their religious values. Abortion is no good. What people like me, who stands in the middle, will say, whatever is your belief, it's not a problem. What is a problem is like when you have mothers throwing away babies in the garbage can. That's a problem. When you're hearing children are being dumped through windows, that's a problem. When you hear children are malnourished, they get their food to eat, that's a problem. When you hear the news like today's news in Brooklyn, 9-year-old was missing. Now they have the mother and the 13-year-old daughter investigated. Why? Because the pizzeria that was downstairs said they were smelling something. And when they go in there to check, the 9-year-old was in there with injuries. Mad, rapture. You tell me if that should be. What is the problem? I'm not saying it's pro-life or pro-choice. I'm saying what is it that we're doing to protect the young ones? That's what's important to me. I don't care whether you want to get rid of the baby or you want to keep the baby. But the most important thing is, if the baby's there, then what are you doing for these babies to get safe? Why is it that babies are being found in the garbage in this modern day and age? Why? And especially in a place like America, which give you what food stamps and this and that and that. Why the hell are you finding people in the garbage? Babies in the garbage. And what are you going to do if a woman was raped by men in the night and she don't know who? And she don't want nothing to do with that baby. So when that kid is growing up, what do you think is going to happen? So these are things we take into consideration. But most of all, I want you guys to just think about this. Is that the people who, if this law passed, a lot of people will go to jail. Because once you're found to use pills that can cause uterine contraction, then you consider abortion. And if somebody reports you, you will be fined or you're not covered. So you have a legal law, illegal information. 1, 2, black people who may decide to do their own thing. And once somebody report them, they'll be charged for money. There were 2 weeks ago. And the third, the last and most serious part is the socio-economic situation. So we have to start teaching our children not to go have sex or unprotected sex. That's what the solution I think right now. You have to teach the children not to have unprotected sex. So if your daughter, and I usually like to teach in church, if your daughter, who is 10 years old, come home and was raped, and she want to be pregnant, what will be your responsibility? Should she have a baby? Think about it. That's all I want you to think about it. And this is where your values will come in. But above all, what you got to remember though is that when you're working as a nurse in whatever facility or scenario or situation, you have to follow their policy and procedures. So if the facility says you got to do X, Y, Z, then you have to do X, Y, Z. If you don't want it, you have to leave. That's all. You have to follow. As a nurse, you have to follow whatever is the facility's policy. And if the facility says no abortion or no what have you just take care of the baby or whatever, you have to go with it. If the facility says you got to do abortion, you have to go with it. Because you're working with the facility. You understand that? Believe still and believe you. And you take a good look at your own culture and take a look at yourself, your own self, and what we were brought up in, and what is our beliefs in today. What do we believe in? What do you believe in? And I see this every single day when I have the classes. I can see persons that have respect for their cultures in the class. And there's culture that's called general culture, like your Haitian, your Ghanaians, your Jamaican. I'm not talking about that culture. I'm talking about the culture that you pretty much develop for yourself. You ever hear the say that when you work in a facility got its own culture? You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Now every not body the facilities go away late because that's their culture? Or the people that facility do X, Y, Z because that's their culture? Something that people develop in the period of time. Like persons who come in late all the time. It's a cultural thing. Person is saying it's based on my job, my work, and what have you. But I also tell people, as nurses, we do preventative or prophylactic. And you know what prophylactic? You know what prophylactic is? Look up the word prophylactic. P-R-O-P-H-Y-L-A-C-T-I-C, prophylactic. But look at the word prophylactic. What it means? Nothing. Remember in this class you don't think. What is prophylactic? What is prophylaxis? Prophylactic. Prophylaxis is the same thing. So somebody will please. You know there's a saying an ounce of prevention is better than a whole pound of cure? Meaning that when we do prophylactic care, we do things to prevent something from happening. You guys feel me? Keep that word, you have to remember that word. It's called as prophylactic nursing. Look up for prophylactic nursing. Just put nursing after the word. Hello guys, anybody please? What's prophylactic nursing? Prophylactic, yes, so the prophylactic is going to cover.
Define as the process of learning the development of a specific disease by treatment or acting affects and presents
That affects what? Pathogenesis. So what pathogenesis? Come on guys, you can have to look that up. What pathogenesis? What is Genesis? The beginning, life, Genesis, the Bible. How do you read your Bible? Come on, Genesis, right? Patho, the development to the beginning of a disease. So you're going to prevent the beginning of disease. So let's throw the word as it relates to medical and put it into day-to-day activities. If you come in late, but you have started something, and you started a training to get you to a place, what should you have taken into consideration for your prophylactic? Time management. How you manage your time? How will you get there? Do I have to go there half an hour earlier or catch a bus half an hour earlier? After you have to do X, Y, Z, that is called prophylactic. The intervention, preventative intervention, so something is going on. And this will go basically in your life. If you know you have to go catch a plane, and the plane leaves at 3 o'clock, but check-in stops at what? No, not 2:30. But around 2:45 or 2 o'clock checking in and stop, right? And when you go there, you begging them, oh my God, the plane left there. Do you think they'll get your board? No. So what do? You ensure that you get there on
2 hours ahead of time.
same thing goes with everything that you do in life. You make that decision. You make that decision. By the way, I got left back about 3 times.
Okay.
I missed my flight like 3 different times. And I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I can't go sit down at the airport for 2-3 hours. No, I can't. I really can't. And I see people just sitting at the airport and looking at things. And, no. So now, and I'm now, for a while now, although it's very difficult, I travel first class. Although it costs me more money, I plan ahead. I save what money I need for flight. I go first class. Not because I want to pay like I got money, which I got, but because I know I went 3 times to the airport and I kept saying I can't fly out. I'm not actually 5 times. 3 times in New York and 2 times in Guyana. When I go to Guyana, the time I can't fly out, I had to get on the phone both times, and this is within the past year. Get on the phone and call, I was traveling with American Airlines, and call JetBlue, who had a flight which is leaving like an hour later, to jump on JetBlue flight. I'm not eating that at seats in both of them. But when I come back, I didn't come back first class, I come back with regular flight. Right. So sometimes you have to put things in place. And by the way, I heard something in the news this past week, and I'm so happy. I hope it will continue, it will be put into effect, is that when you go to the airport confectionaries, those shops, must sell at street price. You know, you go in there and you buy a bottle of water,
Yes.
Right. So I heard it over that they're saying that there should not be
Overpricing their
people
stuff.
anything to charge what's being sold in the street.
Yeah, they make good money.
And the most you can pay is 10% or something like that. They go 300, 400%. They say most is 10%. I heard that this past week here, like,
Oh, that's good.
you have much follow up on these things, man. Find out, because you go to, I think the only thing that sells about normal would be things like McDonald's. I think McDonald's sells about the normal price. But you go to them other little stores in there, or you want to go and get a beer or something, that you want to buy food, oh Lord. I said go and buy a food, and because you know you're not allowed to take food in, I can't call them the names I want to call them, but they set it up like 300-400%. So now when you're going to buy a food for like a little $50 here, when you go in there it's $30-something, $40-something, and you're like, damn. All of them money that you know when you go home, people is want something. Kind of greatly take back, you know. So I'm glad this is happening, and I hope to know that now we can travel and not have to pay all that money. That's some extra money that we're
And
doing.
they're not raising your inflation.
They said it's supposed to be getting stable right now, but
I don't see them in the gas prices. Yeah.
unless they
$5 and change.
they make these changes, which is Biden and others, and I'm hoping that they make the change, because if they don't make changes now, most people are going to be voting to the Republicans.
Republicans are going to make no change.
So they're going to make change, but because they don't have the changes and people are feeling pressure. If I got to pay $5, when Trump was in, I was paying what, how much? The fact that the gas prices went down when he was in. And I'm serious, the prices went down when he was in.
That's it. You mentioned his name like he has an influence on. Influence.
No, I'm telling you like it is, and that's what people look at.
That's what I
Not me.
believe.
I'm going to this politics thing. I'm just saying that when he's in, gas prices down, and people got a raise, right?
Yeah.
Everybody got a raise. Maybe he did it for what? So if he say power, who knows? But people voting along those lines. I'm going to vote to the man who's going to give me $1 a gallon than the man who's going to tell me $5 a gallon. Who is more? Because at the end of the day, who is going to pay for my light bill? Who's going to pay for my mortgage or whatever it may be? That's how people think, unfortunately. And people have to think that way. That's why we put people in power, to make those decisions for us. But now it's gone beyond that. It's gone beyond to the sense of racial problems and killing because of race and all this nonsense. Hopefully, my children and your children will see better days. Because right now, you should be putting everything in for the betterment of your children. And that's how it is. They say when you are born, you have segments your life. The first 25 years of your life should be when you develop yourself into who you want to be. The next
What is the weather right
25
now?
years of your life should be developing your children, getting children, and develop your children. And the next 25 years of your life should be praising the good God for all that He's given you. And that's how it's supposed
Who said
to be.
that?
Enjoy life.
Who put that who wrote that thing down?
That comes under the teachings of your philosophy,
That's mine that wrote that.
right?
That's
It
mine.
says that's how life should be. And then we can get into the golden era. But right now, people killing people. Every day you hear, well, I'm seeing all the cutting back. Oh, by the way, last night I saw how they're making these guns. They call it ghost guns. They're making these things now. They're making by the hundreds. Some guys in the shops are getting the parts and they're creating it. It is so fascinating. There's a lot of people that have guns out there that they can't trace because there's nothing in these guns. It's ridiculous. And for the ones who can't get the money to buy the guns, everybody walking with a knife. These last couple of days, how many people got?
I need a pepper spray. They said I can get it cheap.
Pepper spray.
Pepper spray. But they said I can get it cheap in New York.
You can't get to New York?
No, you can't.
3 days ago,
I can get one for you.
3 days ago, 3 days ago, two girls were beaten up by 4 girls, and the 4 girls attacked them with pepper spray. So you can't get it, but them kids have it, and they're 14 or 15-year-olds. Attacked other girls, 2 other girls, and beat them up and sprayed them with pepper spray. Right in what, Queens?
If you go to
I'm telling you the bag and all kind of stuff. I don't know, and these young women. So you gotta watch up your young daughters to see what's going, because the friends they may keep, you don't know what they do at the schools, I can tell you that. So you gotta keep a close eye on that.
Stop dating the male, you get the best one. Stop dating the male men, you get the best one.
That's
Start
why.
dating a male man.
Start dating the mailman.
They give you guys that?
They'll give you discounts.
Well, when they show you America's Funniest Video, they show you those mailmen jumping over fences.
They use it to spray the dog. They use it to spray the dog.
Oh yeah?
The mailman, yeah, when the dog attack them, they spray the dog with it.
There's pepper spray.
Yeah.
Mm.
I got a dog in my street.
You have a dog?
The bark inside.
So we talk about dogs and all that stuff. You gotta stick on what we gotta stick on. People who kiss dogs should not be kissing dogs. You heard that, right? You guys is all over the news. People like to put their mouth to dogs, and for whatever reason, they're like, they pass on disease. And especially dogs is eating all kind of licking all kind of nonsense. I see people on streets doing that. Well, have you guys seen the Chinese?
They
The
cook the
videos
dog.
of the Chinese?
They cook the dog.
No. The videos of the Chinese. You see what are their pets? Their pets are monkeys. And these monkeys are well trained. They're little monkeys like that. And these monkeys come and sit down. Monkeys bring their own plate. Monkeys, I'm serious. Got these things well trained. And they wear pampers and no, it's all over the thing. And that's what the Chinese have these. And it's like I see kind of regularly on my what's called this Facebook. A lot Chinese, these monkeys, well trained, doing things. Go bring your plate, and they jumping down, running, bring back the plate and put it up. Like, damn, I got some big wounds all over my body. Monkey bite me up. I can't see no monkey being trained because he attacked me. But these people train these monkeys. But when I look at what I see with what all black people putting out there now, somebody sent me, and I told her the last time she sent me something, a man chopping another man head off her. Now, 2 days ago, I only looked at it one time, and that was it. Send me a video of a man lying down here, a woman lying down here. The man, he's dead, chopped. The woman was naked, and her head was on top of her body. Put on top of her body. When you chop the head off, you put it there. But that's not a part that was really sickening. You know what the sickening part? The guy is talking, and whoever's video, boy, I'm telling you, this world is a crazy world. He took the machete that baby killed her with, and he cut out her vagina like that. Sharp, and then I think because all this thing is so sharp, he just put it on the vagina, hold it, pull out the vagina. What's that? Black people children. Man. And the way he's talking, calmly. Well, let's cut it out. Not like, you. Oh, calmly cut it. You can talk like it's a hour or something cut it off. That's why,
Very happy,
I don't know. Sometimes I even I look at it once and that was it. Because first I just saw the two bodies. The body, you could see his dead, he's lying down there, his clothes off. But the woman, she was totally naked, then the head is on top of her body. Girl has braids. I think a young girl. Nice, very to mention. I don't want to look at it. Sick people, man. Oh my God. And this brings us to even with how people react. If it's a black man had shot 10 people, he'd be having 60 to 70 bullets in him.
Already.
The cops will shoot him.
On sights.
Just like the one who shot up those people in the church. The white guy who shot up those 7 people who humped in the church and killed them. You come out, nothing. In fact, they were there, they're telling him to put it down.
Yeah,
he had
talk
his
him
neck
to it,
and
yes.
talk him. Man, look. It was a black man.
Yo, to beat the crap out of him, then kill
Beat the
him.
crap out of him, he'd either be head loaded and can't recognize him. Because they would have shot him.
They would have said you're resisting from down the block. You're resisting.
Some years
Then
ago,
people
I was
beat him
looking
up.
at a video. He showed this young black guy, you could see he was totally freaked out. And he had a gun in his hands like that, and he was shooting on the ground. You could see those cops riddle him. He wasn't shooting nobody, he jumped down, you could see he's crazy, bam on the ground. Not wow about anybody, just wow. I'm gonna riddle him. Riddle him. That is our society. Unfortunately, it's getting worse. Unfortunately, because of the political situation. Right now, I look at CNN and they said they're still waiting for the Republicans to condemn the shooting. You know Republicans have condemned the shooting? Because they're propagating that nonsense we call what? Great replacement theory. So they're propagating that white people are being replaced. That's why you got to get rid of all the immigrants.
Yeah.
Sad. Very sad. Very sad. And you got to be careful with your children and grandchildren and teach them the right thing. Teach them to be aware. Not to hate people, but just to be aware of situations around them. And if they're black, that they have opportunities in life like everybody else. And don't let nobody push them down and make them less than who they are or what they should be. Because this is what this society is becoming, unfortunately, and we don't want this to happen to our children. Our children must live the American dream. You know, right now I can say, if I was still in my country, I might not be alive. Some of you, if you were in your country, might have been alive.
Nope.
You might have been doing something, might have been big in some other thing. But I can say, here in America, I have a voice. Even if I could tell somebody like the traffic agent come and give me a ticket. Back there, I tell the policeman, give me a ticket, you want to beat the hell out of you. You can't tell them, what you give me a ticket for? Or you go play yourself or somebody come and give me a ticket. You know, I'll punch your face and call you friends of the So why would I want, I tell people, look, I love America. I love my country. I always will be a Guyanese, but I love America. But it gives me opportunities in life. When I'm in Indiana and I want to go to England, you gotta go get a what? A visa. I want to go to Canada, I gotta get a visa. I want to go here, I gotta get a visa. But when I'm American, I go anywhere. I gotta get no visa. I'm getting life no better, right? When I make $100 and I go home, my $100 give me 20,000 of my dollars. So what? And like the guys is doing, are them old men, and I know they beat in Haiti too. But them old men who got getting the gray hair, when they're going home on vacation, you know, they buy it on the credit card, and they save up a couple of dollars. And then they go to the barber, and they shave off all the hair off the head. Take off all the hair off the face, because they want no gray hair to be shown. And when they land back home, it's all them young jerks are running out. I tell them all kind of, oh, girl, you have no bright anything new hair, and the dressing and all, the latest fashion, but all them, of course, is back off, right? Not the real stuff. But hey, them girls are there running after them. And you know, I don't know if any of you guys have know about it, but when you go to your country and you ask young ladies who are single, you're single, so oh, my man, he's in America. I'm serious. My man is in America.
Never heard that one before.
My man is in Canada, or my man is in England. And he was like, yeah? When's the last time you see him? Oh, but 2 years ago, you got to come sometime soon. Is he coming soon?
I don't want your money.
Then my hand is going right to them. Maybe give them a little $50 or $100 say we won't go about. And then when they get they sell a little $100 here and there. And the woman said, that's my man. No 2 ways about it, that's my man.
It's the best relationship.
When he get the money together, he go down there the next 3 years. He party with more, do all the stuff he wants, and then he leave and down back here.
The tax man is around tax time, April 15th, after April 15th.
But it happens throughout, I think it's throughout the war that goes on. And yes, it's just life. Some of us just got to be the way that we are. And I always got to tell the guys that make sure you wear protection. I tell the women, I know all the young boys run after the women, don't become cougars. Right? Don't become no cougar. Them big women is good for them young boys.
Yes.
And you know the story from out of Jamaica, which was what? What the story was it? I was telling that her groove back when she gonna pick up the young boy and bring him to America. And then the little boy turned out to be gay. Well, that's a true story.
Yeah.
Come to America, she write books, she got money, she took her money to own his own, make it his own store.
Yeah.
Got his own store set up right, and then he come out to project to say he's gay.
He didn't come out open.
But you know what? That is why when women, I'm telling you, if I got a woman, and she come and tell me that how this guy that she's talked to, oh, he's gay, he's just like me. Hell, he's not just like me. I don't care what you say. Man's a man, he got something between his legs that to stand up. If it's time for a man, it's time for whoever, it will still stand up. Don't come tell me, but he's just like you, and you could share time and y'all could talk together. Not my woman. Ain't gonna happen. Straight up. I'm serious. Women like to say, oh, he's gay, he's a woman just like me. You know, women like to because he make you pregnant. And that's Stella, how Stella got her groove back. It's a typical example of that. They're bisexual.
That's what we know.
They're all bisexual. And then when they got a preference to the men, Lord have mercy.
no disease. So it's different diseases.
They do spread the disease, especially to the women, especially like gonorrhea. And because they have anal sex, and anal sex you can pick up a lot of microorganisms. And if they don't wash it properly, then they go home and the wife is there, because a lot of them tell the wife that they gone out there for having the boys and play basketball. But they don't play basketball, they play with another ball or a couple of balls. And then they go home and they climb on top of the wife. And then next thing you know, that's what it is. I believe it, some of those big strong guys who walk around there with tattoos all over them thing. Boy, if you only know them guys, it's you. That's you. Look, I have no problem with man climbing for man, woman climbing for woman. I have no problem with that. That's their problem. I'm a man. Don't bring that nonsense to me. No man will come and hold me hand and say, hey, you know, I like you, or look in my eyes and, nah, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
Mercedes said, dust in your eyes when you blow it out.
You also gotta be careful when you're having anal.
Ain't gonna happen. That year I know definitely not gonna happen. No way, no farm, no passion. I got nothing against, I've worked with persons who, males who are that way. In fact, there was a doctor, and after a while I started to try to keep away from him, because he always come and touch me, and how are the boys today? And he was a podiatrist. Yeah, when you come to see his patient, first thing was say, oh, white man is come, how's the boy today?
What's the boy down big talking about?
It's me talking about. I know we talking about how's the boy today.
The boy
But
down
many
big.
years ago I was in Guyana, I used to dance with the National School of Dance.
You know how to dance?
So they brought me in because I was taught to this thing, so they brought me to the National School of Dance, which is
A big dance.
right? And they had this, the professor who taught us from Cuba, Professor Lastra. Mama, Professor Lastra's teaching, when I went in, because I was very flexible, because you know my used to teacher yoga and everything, I was very flexible, and this what they saw me perform, and they went out to get me. So I went, and then I started to learn, Tandu, and all the different,
Show us a move
and
now.
all them things, how the feet and movement, and all that sort of stuff.
Can't dance.
But then I noticed something in the class after a couple of days. The guys, you know, when you're walking, teach out to walk and such. I watch the guys and I noticed them guys just be like, I said, wow, that's right. For me, I still go to the dance class and thing, and I never had time to have some students from America and different countries was staying in around the building, which is in the national park. They had something set up. So they were saying, and they had come to see me when I was working at the hospital as a student nurse. So they know me, and they'd come the people to see the dancing, and they see me there. So I used to be like, oh, I'm not going to be really focused on these guys so much. I still know them, you know, people, young and girls from Canada, and everything come and check me out, and come on to that. Well, we have to prepare for a dance at the National Cultural Center. We practicing this dancing. Then Professor Lastro, the same nonsense as this doctor did. Professor Lastro could put his hands around my shoulders and and then I say to come do your hips, you know you gotta do your hips that way. And he moved my hips and he feeling up and touching up and up. Boy, that was it. I never went to the cultural center to the performances of the same week. I just cut out, stop, that was it. But unfortunately, every member of that, all the men in that group, died for AIDS. The last to die
Andre
was Andre
Sobrino.
Sobrino. He's the last one to die.
And his sister is the opposite, you know.
Everyone, and Andre Sobrino, we actually started the same time. We started the same time. And he became like the head of the thing and what have you. And all the guys in the school, every one of them died from HIV. And Andre Sobrino, the last time I met him was up here.
He had the store on North Stone Avenue.
Died from AIDS. Because all them used to do the batty boy business. And if I would have hung around, I would have been into it too.
You know, we used to say, he said, Kirby cucumber curing AIDS, so he ain't got it.
He had it. He
I
died
know,
from it.
but that's where he died from.
But then this is the thing, it's like I said, when you know certain things, you could take the necessary
We should teach you to do that.
Alright? Alright guys, so tomorrow I'll see you when you come. We'll try to move off of this here, we did right? And you guys are comfortable with those? You done the skeleton, you guys are comfortable with all of those?
All right.
I'm asking guys,
Yes,
because
sir.
when we're talking, I'm gonna talk tomorrow, and I'm gonna talk on every system, and you must be able to push out it, throw it at me. That's how this is gonna be until you leave the class this month. I'll be talking, and you'll be throwing stuff out at you that you don't know, so we can sort it out here and there.